In the summer of 1955, Hoxie, Arkansas found itself at a crossroads. The Supreme Court's ruling in Brown v. Board of Education had declared segregation in public schools unconstitutional. But for many southern towns, change was slow to come. However, Hoxie would become a notable exception.
It was right in the sight of God. It was financial. So because of the school board were righteous men, so the only reason that they had the segregation policy of 2 schools was that there was, it was kind of like an unwritten law that, blacks and whites do not mix. And it had been that way for, forever. So they did not want to try to buck the trend of having, integration before. But when the Supreme Court ruling came out that segregation was illegal as far as education goes, then that gave them the chance to do what they always wanted to do, which was to integrate the schools.
In 1955, the Hoxie School Board voted unanimously to integrate the town's public schools. This decision was not taken lightly. It was a bold move, especially in a region where resistance to desegregation was fierce.
I found that in a few of the largest cities, there had been petitions and requests to integrate the schools. But Hoxie did not until the Supreme Court decision came down. And at that time, because the school board was struggling to support our school. The funding that came in was all invested in this school, in the white school. So that's why we got left out on funding. So when the decision came through, the school board said, okay, now we don't have to try to support 2 schools. We have a good reason to integrate the schools. So that's why as soon as the decision was, came down, then Hoxie did their integration.
While Hoxie residents supported the move towards equality, those outside of the community vehemently opposed. The board members knew that their choice was not only right in the sight of God, but would bring both praise and backlash.
I don't think the town's reaction was too extreme until the outside people came in after the Life magazine, but parents didn't tell their children everything like they do now, and some things were kept from it. It wasn't an issue with my group because we were all pretty much children of people that supported it, and there was no, to my knowledge, I may have been naive, I'm sure I was, but I didn't see any animosity between my friends or people that families were supportive of the integration and other families. There wasn't, I personally didn't feel any animosity.
Dad talked to us about it, and he said that it was going to happen because it's federal law. And what you thought didn't make no difference. It was federal law, and it would be enforced. But he said the best thing to do is just go along with it and, don't cause any trouble for sure.
Well, you have to remember during that time, kids were not really privy to adult conversations. Like today, kids are around when their parents are talking. But say back during that time when parents got together for a conversation, the kids had to go out back or go someplace and play. When they did close the school, my dad got a letter from Mr. Vance stating that when the school starts in July, to send me over to the white school, that they were closing the colored school. So as far as I knew, that was it. the kids in the neighborhood, we were all excited that we'd be going to school together because during the segregation times, we'd leave home and start out and get halfway to school. Then I would cut off and go to the colored school, and they would continue on to the white school. So to us, we'd all get to go to the same school, so we'd walk together to school.
The Hoxie School Board's decision to integrate was more than a compliance with the law. It was a courageous step forward towards justice and equality. It laid the groundwork for a new era in education, one where all children could learn and grow together. As we delve deeper into this story, we will witness the challenges and triumphs that followed this historic decision. The courage of the Hoxie School Board set a precedent, proving that even in the face of adversity, the fight for equality must go on. With the decision made, the Hoxie School Board and community began preparing for the upcoming school year. The summer of 1955 was a time of anticipation and preparation as teachers and administrators worked to ensure a smooth transition. The preparation was meticulous. Every detail was considered, from seating arrangements to new textbooks, to ensure that integration would be as seamless as possible.
You know, I think as far as I was concerned, and as far as every student that I knew was concerned, it was no big deal. I mean, we were all going to school. It's become a much bigger thing than, I don't think in 1955, I knew that we were one of the leaders in this happening. For a few years afterwards, I thought we were the first. Now we found out we was the third after a while, you know, in Arkansas. But it just, I guess as I see things happening today, like the recent Supreme Court decision on marriage equality and stuff, which is supposed to destroy everything, that's the way I think some adults felt about the Brown versus Board of Education decision back then.
As a 12-year-old, we didn't know really anything about, that what we were going through was history or that there was any problem. The only thing that I saw was that when we get to the school, sometimes there would be, a group of people standing around the school entrance. And, you pass them and, I wonder what they're doing here. Is there something going on or whatever? But, just in passing, that's all we knew. And we didn't know that our parents were getting, letters and things like that. We didn't get, any threatening letters or they couldn't give us a call because we didn't have a phone, but, nobody coming to the house or anything. So as far as I know, we were not privy to anything. Now, the Hill family, now they were well educated, and Dad and Mom were not. So they depended on them. They would read the letters and whatever and give their opinion to the other black families because, we didn't really know, the details, or Mom and Dad didn't know the details, so we relied on them. So they would read the information and tell Dad, what to do and how to do. This is where, the Supreme Court had decided, that segregation was illegal as far as the schools go. So they're going to integrate the schools. So I had the legal right to go to the white school.
As the first day of the 1955 school year approached, the entire community held its breath. The courageous decision of the Hoxie School Board was about to be tested in the real world, where the hopes and fears of an entire town converged at the schoolhouse door. The preparations were complete and the stage was set. The story of Hoxie was about to enter a new chapter, one filled with challenges and hope as the community stepped into uncharted territory.